All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So today we are going to be looking at the amendments, specifically the 5th through the 10th Amendment. We're going to be finishing off the Bill of Rights. Okay. Now, remember, the Bill of Rights are amendments 1 through 10. We have 27 of them, so there's going to be more later on. Okay. But the thing is, the Fifth and Sixth Amendment, are very, very, very important when it comes to your individual rights um, as a citizen, as well as when it pertains to the courts. So we're going to be looking at that. Okay. So let's look at the objectives. Sorry about that. We're going to analyze the Fifth Amendment. Okay. And then we're going to examine the significance of the Sixth Amendment, and then we're going to create an argument on why the Ninth and Tenth Amendment are vague. Why are they so broad? They're not specific, like the First Amendment. Even though the First Amendment itself is kind of vague, but at least it says like freedom of speech, freedom of press. It doesn't say specifically what they have the freedom of, but it says they do have we do have the freedom of that. So we're going to look at that. Okay. So here is your warm-up picture. So go ahead and answer the two questions dealing with this warm-up. I believe it says, what are three things you see, or create a list of things you see. So go ahead and do that. And the other ones, what do you think this artist is trying to say? Uh, so look what the judge is saying, okay? And that should help you out, okay? So stop the video and so you can finish that up, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so the Fifth Amendment, this is specifically what it says straight up from the Constitution. It says, no person shall be held to answer for a capital crime or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in case arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject to the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So, in a nutshell, let's break this down. Okay. The first part, no person shall be held to answer for a capital crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury. So basically, this grand jury, what they do, they look at the evidence. They don't like, it's not a trial, but they look to see the evidence. Now, if there's only like one or two evidence to say, then the people who are trying to prosecute you say, this is the evidence we have, and it's like two things. It can be like, that's it? No, no, that's not enough to convict somebody of, let's say, like murder or things like that. You know. The next one, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. This is simply known as double jeopardy. Okay, what it means is you can't be charged for the same exact crime twice. Now, does this mean you can't be charged for, like, let's say, robbery twice? No, you can be charged for robbery for many times, but not the same event. Excuse me. So let's say you rob a gas station, right, at a specific spot on New Year's Day 2021. Okay, you go to jail, you come out, right? You did your time. The cops can't come arrest you and put you in trial again for that exact same crime, robbing that gas station on January 1st, 2021. They can't do that because you already served your time for that. You already paid your dues to society for that robbery. That's what it means. Okay, doesn't mean just because you robbed someplace once and you went to jail that when they arrest you again for robbery, you're like, oh, you can't rob me for You can't get me for a robbery again. Yeah, they can because you robbed another place at another time. All right, now if you hit multiple places on the same day, they can get you for each one of those. Okay, but if you served your time for each one of those places, they can't get you for that again. Okay. Nor shall any person be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. This is where the Miranda rights come in. All right. When they tell you you have the right to remain silent. There it is right there. They're telling you you don't have to say anything, but anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So if you say anything, they can use that in court. You know, even if you're just saying, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. Well, then it goes to court and you're like, he said he didn't do it. You know, we have evidence to prove the opposite. You know, um, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So that's where the Miranda rights come in, and we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Okay. Uh, you cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law. What that means is they can't arrest you and then put you to death. You know, they can't, let's say, arrest you and then, you lose all your property and, and freedoms and things like that. No, there has to be a process where you get arrested, you go through the preliminary trial, you get the bail, you don't get bail, things like that. You have your day in court, the prosecution side do their case, your side takes the case, you guys each say your thing, and then the verdict comes in. So there are steps in between. It doesn't go straight here and there. That's what it's saying. Okay. Private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So your property just can't be taken just at a whim. They have to pay you. Now here's the thing. And this is God's honest truth, that they will pay you the value of the place. So let's say they want to build a road and it happens to go through your house. They'll say, we'll buy your property, your home. So they look at the market value of your home and of the property. And then they'll say, we'll pay you, let's say if it's $500,000. If you say, I want $8 million, they're not going to do that. Okay. And you can't, if you try to say, well, then you can't, I will sell you my house. Then they'll use this thing called eminent domain. Basically, what that means is they can knock down your house, take the property, because it's a public service. They're doing this is going to help the community, help the state, help more than just you. It's going to help everyone else. And if they can prove it, which a lot of times they can, especially when it comes to roads, they can show that it's going to clear up traffic, things like that. So yeah. And then again, they'll just say, okay, well then you get paid the $500,000. Now, if you try to say this, how about $600,000, $700,000, maybe 100,000 more, 200,000 more, they might agree to that. But if you go overboard, like reaching high for the sky, you're gonna get nothing but air, and then you're gonna lose money because you're gonna go to court and things like that, and you're gonna lose, and then so yeah. Okay. Now, the Miranda. See, this was a court case that happened back in the day. I think it was like the late 60s, early 70s, something like that. So what happened was this guy Miranda basically got arrested by the cops. They questioned him. He answered the questions. He didn't have a lawyer with him. So when he went to court, his lawyer was basically like, dude, why'd you confess to this? And he's like, because they asked me questions. He goes, you did realize you didn't have to talk to him. And he's like, no, I didn't know that. And the lawyer basically then said, you didn't have to say anything without a lawyer there, right? He's like, no, I didn't know any of that stuff. So then they fought, the lawyer fought against this, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and then that's where it came in that the cops have to tell you your rights, and that's where the Miranda rights come in. Okay. Let's see. So here it is right there. This is the thing the cops say. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I have read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? Okay. that first part they ask you, do you understand these rights I have just read to you? If you can understand it, then you say yes. Okay? Don't be one of these people who you understand. You're just like, no, no, no. Because the thing is, after a certain amount of time, unless you have a disability where it says you cannot process um, certain information, things like that, and it has to be documented. It just can't be like, oh, this person has dyslexia. That's not going to work. Okay? It has to be documentation that proves that you truly do not understand what they're saying to you and things like that. Okay? Because after a certain time, they're just like, oh, he knows it, or they know it. They're just trying to be like, no, 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 type of thing, and that gets them really upset. Okay, do you understand the rights I read to you? Yeah. With that rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? No, no. You can say no at that point. You don't have to answer any of their questions. You have that right as a citizen. Okay. Now, I have read some reports and things like that, court cases where some cops overstepped their boundaries and they said, "You have to talk to me. You have to talk to me." And the person sometimes they got scared and they said things. They talked. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they were like, "No, I don't have to say anything to you." They knew their rights, and and the cops, the ones who attacked when the people said no, they, basically got, caught up with intimidation, you know, and some of them got in trouble, you know, excuse me. So just know that when they ask you that, do you understand these rights? If you truly understand it, say, yeah, I understand it. Now, do you want to talk to me? Nope. There you go. Okay. So the Sixth Amendment, I'm going to read the green section. Um, It says the right to a speedy and public trial. An impartial jury of the state and district within the crime shall have been committed. And you're going to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. Confronted with the witness against him, obtain witnesses in his favor, and to have assistance of counsel for his defense. Now, here's the thing. I've heard a lot of people say, man, my court, date so long away, man. What happened to that speedy trial type of stuff, man? That sucks. That's stupid. Why do I have to wait all this time? Because the thing is, um, back in the day, what they used to do is sometimes the king and queen would arrest somebody, and then their trial would be years. And I'm not talking like 1 or 2. I'm talking like 5, 8 years later, still keeping that person in jail. And basically, what they did that for is to make sure that the witnesses either died, moved away, or they can't remember what happened. Or if they do remember, it's not 100%. Like, I'm almost positive. Oh, so you're not positive, you know. Um, so the trials are within a reasonable amount of time. Now, also depends too where the crime was taking place. If you happen to be in a big city, it might take some time, because there's a lot of court cases, um, a lot of cases on the docket and stuff like that. So it might take a while. Um, and the public trial, that's where everyone can see. People can be there and watch and listen. Because again, back in the day, they would tell people, "Oh yeah, we had a trial." In reality, they didn't. Um, or they would tell people, uh, "Yeah, yeah, we had a trial for people, for some people. It was at this time. You know, we tried to look for you, but we couldn't find you." So, um, and sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But now you have to have a trial in public so people can be there and see it, right? An impartial jury means that you're going to have people who judging you who don't really know you. They don't, have anything against you or anything for you, So I've been kicked off of juries because I just so happened to know some of these people who were being accused of things, or they were a witness um, who was like kind of like a friend, you know. So they're like, yeah, no, you can't be impartial, you're gonna believe your buddy or things like that, So, um, and some of these people who were being prosecuted were former students of mine. So I'm like, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I had him as a student. So yeah, okay. And also, where you committed the crime, that's where the trial is going to be, because those people deserve to know what happened and what should happen to you based off the evidence and things like that. Um, but if unless the you unless it's like up to the point where you can't get a fair trial in that town, then they might move it to another place where those people don't know you, don't, you know. You are informed of what you are accused of. That's a big one because back in the day, people would just get arrested, like, well, why am I in jail? Hmm, I don't know. Or they didn't have to tell them. Or, people truly didn't know. They were just locked up because that's what the king or queen wanted. You get to confront your witnesses who are going against you. All right. People who accused you, you get to have your lawyer cross-examine them. You get to see who they are, and you get to have witnesses who come up for you. Character witnesses, people who actually saw you at a certain time or place when this crimes, or this incident, whatever you're being accused of, happened. Okay. Now this last one, this one's pretty interesting because the thing is, you can have counsel to help you in your defense. These public defenders, um, I, had a relationship with one. We went out for a couple, for a bit, and I'll tell you this: they are some hardworking people, guys. I know a lot of people make fun of them. They're like, "Oh my God, I got a public defender. Ugh, I'm done. I'm going to jail." But in reality, these guys are working hard. You know, they're constantly having so many cases, and right when they have one, they finish one, they got another one or two, coming in for them. So there is no relaxing. And the thing is, you have to remember, they have to get things together because this is somebody's life. You know, somebody could be going to jail for their life, for 10 years, whatever. Um, and they want to make sure that they do a good job and make sure that if you truly are innocent, that you are um, freed, you know. So just remember that. Okay. All right. Amendment number 7: the right to a trial by jury shall be preserved. So you have the right to have a jury watch you and things like that. You can say, I don't want a jury. You have that right too. Basically, then the judge would be the person who goes through it. Um, but the thing is, the judge is going to look at the law, straight up what the law says. So when witnesses come up and they're like, "Oh, well, my cousin Tiffany said that such and such," and the judge be like, "Wait, you didn't see it? You didn't hear it? No, this witness is no good because they didn't hear it. They didn't see anything. They're taking the word off somebody else. That's hearsay. So that's not credible." Okay. Um, and no fact tried by a jury shall otherwise be re-examined in any court in the United States. So in other words, you just can't have an appeal just because you didn't like the outcome. You can't be like, well, I didn't like that they found me guilty. I want an appeal. I want another court date. They're just gonna look at you going, who cares? Tough luck. You had your chance. That's what happened. Boom. Now, that's why I like this picture right here. Because I don't know if you know this or not, Michael Vick was accused of fighting dogs. Did he personally do it? No, but was it on his property? Yes. Ergo, he's in trouble because it happened on his property, with his knowledge. He didn't have dog fights, he didn't personally do them, but he knew about it and it was on his property. So when you have a jury of all dogs, he's not going to get a fair trial. So that's a way of saying basically like, I didn't get a fair trial because, you know, those people, all the jury people, they were after me. from the very beginning. I knew some of them, but they lied about that, things like that. And if you can prove it, then yeah. Okay. Um, Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment. That's the Eighth Amendment. Now, an excessive fine is like this. If you've ever jaywalked, which is basically when you cross the street without the crosswalk area where there's a busy road, that's jaywalking. Okay, your fine would usually be anywhere from like $100 to $200. Right, it's not that big, of a crime. But an excessive fine would be like if they cop pulled you over, gave you a ticket for jaywalking, and it's like $8,000, or $80,000. That's excessive. That's way, way too much for just simply jaywalking. Um, Excessive bail would be like if let's say you got accused of a crime, you had your preliminary trial, they say, okay, you could post bail. If you're making $60,000 a year and they say your bail is 60 million, that's an excessive bail. There's no way in the world you could pay back that $60 million. Even if to get out, you need 10%, which would be $6 million. If you're making $60,000 a year, you're not going to make $6 million. Okay, that would basically be working for the next like 100 years without buying anything, you know, no food, no paying for no rent, things like that. So yeah, that's too excessive. Okay. So we talked about four amendments, not three. Of the four we talked about, which one do you think is the most important and why? So it's the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Seventh Amendment, or the Eighth Amendment. Now, another thing too I forgot to mention on the Eighth Amendment is a cruel and unusual punishment. Basically, jail is not considered cruel and unusual. Having your fingernails pulled out is considered cruel. Being tied to a wheel and having a fire at the very bottom and they are slowly turning you and things like that. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Okay. Tying you to horses and having you stretched out, that's cruel and unusual. Okay. So, with that being said, again, pick one of the amendments you think is the best or the most important one. Okay. The second question is, do you think we should still have a trial by jury? The reason I ask this is because, I've been in juries. I'm sure some of your parents or older brothers and sisters have been in juries, and they can tell you some people just don't want to be there, and they're just like, oh my God, whatever, it's just, if you guys vote guilty, I'll vote guilty. But the thing is, that's somebody's life. And imagine if that was you in court, your life, you didn't do the crime, but you got a jury who's just like, I want to get out of here. Yeah, they just look guilty. Would you want that? Yes or no? Okay. And the other thing too is like I was saying about the judges, they look at the law simply straight up. So there's no trying to play the sympathy card and things like that. Yeah, it works with the jury. They straight up look at the law. What does it say? They look at the facts. So, what do you believe? You tell me. Do we still have trial by juries? Why or why not? Okay. So go ahead, pause the video, answer this question. We're moving on in 3, 2, 1. So now we come to the Ninth and 10th Amendment. Now the Ninth and 10th Amendment are pretty unique because the thing is, they're very vague. So look at the number 9. It says the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny nor disparage others retained by the people. I'm sure you're like, what does that mean? What is going on here? What does that say? It means anything that's not mentioned in the Constitution, it doesn't mean you don't have the right to that. Because you have to remember, these guys, when they were writing the Bill of Rights, writing the Constitution, they knew that they didn't know everything. They knew they couldn't tell the future. So they basically left things very vague. They left room for interpretation. They left room to add things uh, to it, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, um, just in case, you know. So they're basically saying, there are going to be things in the future we don't know about. Just because we didn't think about it doesn't mean you don't have the right to it. So a good example is like 60 years or so before this, it was really illegal in a lot of places to work on Sunday, okay? Because that was the day of the Lord. That's a Sabbath day. You were supposed to go to church and rest, um, okay? Because that's what's said in the Bible, that you should keep the Sabbath day, meaning, like I said, go to church, rest. But some people want to work on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Did I say Saturday? I meant Sunday. People want to work on Sunday, you know. So it doesn't say that you can't work on Sunday, so you have that right to work on Sunday if you want. Okay. Now, number 10 basically means the same thing as number 9, except instead of to the people, it says to the states. So the state have power that, even though it's not mentioned in the Constitution, they still have power. They still have the right to it. So a great example of this is driver's license. Okay. At this time when they were writing the Bill of Rights, they had no idea what a car was. They didn't even know what a train was because it hadn't been invented yet. You know. So yeah. So the thing is, now that when licenses came up and they're like, well, who's gonna distribute it? Who's gonna say who can drive it, who can't? The states were like, well, that's our right, you know, because every state is different. Every state has different laws, you know. But basically, when you get your license from a state, like the state of California, state of Nevada, or whatever, that state is basically telling everyone else, hey, this person is good enough to drive. Okay, they're good enough to drive in our state. They're good enough to drive in your state. Okay, so anything that's not mentioned in the Constitution either belongs to the right of the people, which is number 9, or it belongs to the states, which is number 10. Okay. So here's my question to you, because I call those amendments the TARP amendments. They cover things. So why do you think the framers of the Constitution added the TARP amendments, the 9th and 10th Amendment? Why is this important? Why, you know, um, why have those two amendments to kind of cover everything? Okay, so remember TARP. When you hear me use the word TARP amendments, that's the 9th and 10th Amendment of our Constitution. Okay, so pause the video, write what you think. Why were they so vague and off its meaning? Why would they put those amendments at the end? So now we come to the exit ticket. You're going to answer one of these questions. Why is the Fifth Amendment so important? Okay, there's one. Why do you think the Sixth Amendment is considered the most important when it comes to protecting your rights in court? Okay, so go ahead and answer that one, or you can answer the last one. Why are the 9th and 10th Amendment so vague? Why are they just so bland and not specific? Why is it good that they're not specific? Okay, so once you answer one of these questions, be sure you submit it, the form, and that's it. Okay, so you guys have a good day. You take care. You be safe. All right.